What's up?
YouTube family? It's your boy Clem and your girl
Shan. We are back. We're back. I hope you guys had a wonderful day.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of had a stressful day. Had to watch all three of my grandbabies today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then she went to go get her nails done when she got off work instead of coming to get her kids. I'm like, girl, you better come get these kids. I've been up since 6:30 watching them.
Yeah,
but other than that, it was...
took her from 12 to 5.
Yes.
To get her nails done.
12 to... Who takes that long to get their nails done?
That's how she
I don't know.
do it.
But you know what? That's okay.
That's how our kids do it, man.
Never again. I say that, but I'm probably going to do it again. All right, babe, what we got today is Ben Shapiro destroys transgenderism and pro-abortion arguments today.
We're talking about transgender again. Okay.
Yes.
It's like eating a bag full of candy all day, you know. And
what's wrong with candy?
It's just it's junk food, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of times with this transgender stuff, it's just like a whole bunch of eating a whole bunch of junk food to me. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, because candy is bad for you.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
too much of it is not good for you.
Candy all your life. That's how it feels, man.
Hey, but I guess it's like, you know, I mean, I guess it's good that Ben is able to have a good discussion and a good debate to kind of, you know, I guess help people kind of figure out, okay, like, hey, what you're talking about and what I'm talking about, we may not still agree, but at the end of the day, we can still come together and just like,
come together, but you can't force your opinion on.
You can come together, but I'm still not gonna force what I'm saying on you. We're gonna have a good discussion about it and get it done and keep it moving. That's right. All right, you ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
So, how do you say that some people don't have privilege when you basically just said that trans people aren't valid? They're not a thing. They're just girls pretending to be boys or boys pretending to be girls.
Okay.
Oh,
someone's excited. Okay.
Biological, but gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So.
It's not completely disconnected, but it's still a cultural thing. It's still from society. It's
okay. No, it is not in the mind. Okay, you're not a man if you think you're a man. And I didn't say pretending, or if I did, I shouldn't have said pretending. Let me amend.
You said playing.
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl or a girl who thinks he's a boy, which is technically what we're talking about here. As far as the actual psychological issues at play, it used to be called gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder. Now they call it gender dysphoria. The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be. You're still a human being, and you're a human being with an issue that I wish you Godspeed in dealing with in whatever way you see fit. But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no. My answer is no. I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place? They can't just
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts. because this is a very because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl.
Right.
Boy did not mean girl.
People are very much into this culture.
And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true. Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
Completely different thing. You can't just say you're a cat. It's not a thing. It's genders. It's not saying you're
okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. I won't ask.
Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop price.
Ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are, okay? Because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22, so I'm probably young and naive, right?
No. Why aren't you 60? Why aren't you 60? And
the comeback.
Why can't you identify as 60? What is the problem with you identifying as 60?
Because it's not the same as gender. You can't just...
You're right. Age is significantly less important than gender. You can't magically change your gender. You can't magically change your sex. You can't magically change your age.
You can still legally change it. People recognize
You can't legally change your age, by the way.
Obviously, you can change your name, you can change your sex, you can change your identity.
Just because you can do things legally doesn't mean that they are correct biologically. You could do lots of things in the past that were incorrect biologically and correct legally. For a long period of time in the United States, sterilization of the mentally ill took place. That didn't make it okay. Skinner versus Oklahoma. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote the decision.
Right. I still don't understand how you're accepting these children that have gender.
It's not a matter of open-minded and accepting. I want them to get treatment that they see fit, but that's not involving me. The idea behind the transgender movement as a civil rights movement is the idea that all of their problems would just go away if I would pretend that they were the sex to which they claim membership. That's nonsense. The transgender suicide rate is 40%. It is 40%. And according to the Anderson School at UCLA, it makes no difference. There's a study that came out last year. It makes no difference, virtually no difference, statistically speaking, as to whether people recognize you as a transgender person or not, which suggests there's a very high comorbidity between transgenderism, whatever that mental state may be, and suicidality. That has nothing to do with how society treats you.
Do you think it could be because of they're bullied at school?
No, I don't think that. I do not think that the discrepancy. I do not think the discrepancy. First of all, I'm against bullying of any sort. Okay, the idea that somebody would beat somebody up is terrible. Okay, as somebody who's viciously bullied in high school, I'm not a fan of bullying. But the idea that the normal suicide rate across the United States is 4%. The suicide rate in the transgender community is 40%. The idea that 36% more transgender people are committing suicide because people are mean to them is ridiculous. It's not true, and it's not backed by any science that anyone can cite. It is pure conjecture. In fact, it's not even true that bullying causes suicide, according to a lot of studies. For example, in the black community, where the idea is supposedly that America is a racist society, blacks are bullied a lot. Okay, in the black community has significantly lower suicide rates than in the white community. In fact, in third world countries, the suicide rate is significantly lower than in first world countries. Suicide actually seems to be a privilege of the upper classes if you actually look at it from a financial perspective. So the idea that suicidality is directly a result of people like me saying, no, men are not women and women are not men, it's not true. It's also...
So you think it doesn't impact their identity at all, or their depression, or how they feel about themselves?
I think the idea that you're going to sacrifice the entire society's proper definition of sex because you think that there is in legal terms, somebody with an eggshell skull, meaning that somebody who has a pre-existing condition that makes them more susceptible to criticism, that is not a way to run a society. You can't sacrifice truth because some people are going to actually suffer because of the truth. Plus, there's no evidence whatsoever that the suicide rate would go down in the transgender community in any marked way if people just started pretending that men were women and women were men. We're trying that experiment now. We'll find out whether it works. So far, no evidence.
Have you talked to a group of trans people at all instead of just a group of white people?
I'm more than happy to talk to a group of any people who will have me, but usually they protest me.
Okay, last question about your Planned Parenthood thing. So why do you think it's not about controlling women's bodies and just about the separate life? Like, after the baby is born, how come when people don't care about them? They don't care where they end up in foster care, they don't care about the mother being poor?
Okay, I do care about the mother being poor, I do care about foster care.
Okay, but why don't you advocate for that, though? Because Planned Parenthood is supposed to prevent abortions.
Because, Planned Parenthood doesn't prevent abortions. They perform hundreds of thousands of abortions a year. They perform 300,000 abortions a year. They're the leading abortion mill in the United States.
Evidence for that, though?
That they perform 300,000 abortions a year from Planned Parenthood. That's my evidence. They don't dispute that. No one disputes that.
Like birth control and cancer.
I'm not anti-birth control.
I know.
Birth control is extraordinarily cheap.
That provides affordable birth control, which would in turn...
Okay, they're not the only people in America who provide affordable birth control. You can go get a pack of condoms down at the local CVS for $12.
Condoms break, people need medication too.
Yes, and it's true that most forms of birth control are also extraordinarily cheap on an annualized basis. Unless you have a severe problem, most birth control is very cheap and readily available. And I'm not against people going and getting that from Planned Parenthood. As you may have noticed, I'm mostly against abortion. If you want to go to Planned Parenthood and get a contraceptive, go for it. I don't care. I do care when you start killing babies. This is a problem for me.
But what about in rape and incest situations?
Okay, so here's the question. I mean, this is a long conversation. I'm enjoying it actually, which is why I'm allowing you to stay. But the question of rape and incest. First of all, important to note, rape and incest are not only a vast minority of abortion cases. They're an extraordinarily low percentage of abortion cases. So if we can first stipulate that all the other abortions are bad, then we can talk about that other one. Can we do that? Are all the other abortions bad, or are those ones okay? And you're just using this as an excuse to make the other ones okay.
They're all okay.
Ah, good. Someone who's honest. So, who's the honest fellow? Who's okay? Yay, honest people. Good. I like the honesty. Okay, so all abortions are okay. So, oh, a sign that I can't read because it has lots of words on it. Okay, so I have one question for you and one question only on abortion. Does the vagina, the vaginal canal, magically confer personhood? Answer, does the vagina magically confer personhood? Yeah, raised hands are okay. You, sir.
No, the first breath does.
The first breath confers personhood. Okay, so if the baby is in the womb and is exactly the same size and has not yet breathed, and you take a knife and you stab the baby in the head, a fully formed 9-month-old baby, it is not a human. The only thing that makes it a human is when it takes a breath. And it has to independently breathe.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to stick to it, yeah, because I'm also pro-capital punishment and pro-selective suicide. So I'm going to stick with it.
Selective suicide? Yeah, I assume you mean elective suicide.
I mean elective suicide.
Elective suicide. Okay.
Yes, I'm not going to make someone commit suicide.
Okay, that's good, because that wouldn't be suicide, that'd be homicide. That, by the way, I'm for capital punishment too, because people who kill people should be killed, but babies who have not killed people should not. And this is my basic position on abortion. So let me but I'll get your answer because you're the one who asked the question. Are you willing to stipulate that all the other abortions are bad? Just rape and incest bother you?
I mean, no, I believe a woman should have the right to
Got it. So it's an excuse, right? So it's an excuse so that we can say that, so that we can take the marginal case and then say that the marginal case applies to all cases. Okay, that's again faulty thinking. But if you want me to answer specifically on rape and incest, here is my basic answer: rapists should be castrated or killed. You shouldn't kill babies. End of story.
But are they ever castrated and killed? Most rapists don't even get convicted.
I agree, and that's usually the left side of the aisle because the left side wants to let them out after 5 years in prison. I want them castrated or killed. I'm telling you what my belief is. My belief is not public policy at the moment. But I think, would you agree with me on that one? Can we at least get a little agreement to finish this particular parlay? Okay, should rapists be castrated or killed?
Well, yes.
Okay, good, yeah, okay, we agree. Thanks.
Wow. That was...
That's what I'm talking about. When I say junk food, everything he was giving was a full meal.
Yeah.
Every time she said something, it was like junk food.
Backed by facts.
And
it was a fact.
Like, oh, man, what are you
Some people say
talking about? Why are you trying to find things to make excuses?
No, I want to make it.
I'm talking about her, lady. Why is she trying to? Let me say she, because you think I'm talking about you. Why was she trying to find things? You know, just trying to make an excuse for everything. Just an excuse for every single little thing. Okay, so what you think about a rapist? Do you think they're justified for abortion? You just and he had to kind of say, hey, look.
Ask her.
Ask her. Are you
Is it certain abortions that you prefer?
Exactly.
You know, and I thought abortion is an abortion. The baby is getting killed. Now the question that threw me was when he, of course, asked like the baby is. What the man said something about the baby is a person only after it takes its first breath.
That's how they're looking at it. If the baby takes its first breath, that makes him.
It's not breathing when it's in you. I mean, the last time I checked, they kick and they move and.
I guess he's saying
it's alive.
In the womb, it's not really breathing.
A person?
It's not really breathing the air. That's what he's saying.
I'm breathing.
But that's his.
So
belief.
what am I breathing?
That's his belief.
Wow.
That's his belief. So
that was crazy.
It's
now,
real crazy.
I don't know.
I call it.
I'm all for birth control.
I call it cotton candy. Everything they were saying was like cotton candy, Tootsie Rolls, popsicles. It's just a whole bunch.
You talking
of
about all the candy that sticks to your teeth?
In one, everything that he was trying to, give them some food to eat, some real food.
They want that,
but they didn't want that. And it's sad, man. You try to give people truth, and they rather you just tell a lie.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to identify if you want to be a man, I'm supposed to just say, okay, you're a man, and play along with it. Man, nobody got time for that, man.
So he brought in the 40% trans suicide rate compared to the 4% national rate for bullying. I mean, as far as the suicide rate goes, if a person is having an issue where they think they are them or they think they are they, that should be looked at by a professional, because the people who are getting bullied outside of the trans community, they're not committing suicide because of
bullying.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying bullying
suicide. But I was bullied when I was growing up as a kid. I was, I had gangs trying to jump me. And they had the Cleveland gangs, and I used to go to Reebok, and they was always trying to jump me. I'm talking about 10, 15 people.
But why?
Because over a cap, it started over a doggone cap. And I said I wasn't giving you my cap.
But I still don't get the suicide rate.
What I'm trying to say is, I never thought about committing suicide. Now, one time, I did think about getting them one by one. One by one. I did think about that. But it was hard to catch them one by one. So, but I never thought about that. So, but I do understand.
But some kids think about it. Some people think about that. But again, you still are looking when they think about the trans suicide rate compared to the national suicide rate. Are you comparing the two? Why would you compare the two? Something deeper is going on, and why 40% of trans people are committing suicide. They need to be seen by a medical professional that can diagnose whatever it is, because something is still off.
Because you'll never be satisfied.
No.
If you change your gender,
you're never gonna be satisfied. So what's the rate of people who transition and then commit suicide? So now you gotta break down all these different categories of it. No, that don't make no sense. That's too much candy. That's just too much candy. I don't want all that.
Junk food.
That's too much junk food. I'm sorry, junk food. But yes, birth control. I'm all for the birth control. Like he said, condoms. They're at Walgreens. They're you can buy them on Amazon. They're on Amazon. Buy you a pack of condoms. They used to give them out free. Buy you a pack of condoms. I mean, because of course that's better than just having unprotected sex from somebody you just met. I mean, it just why all the excuses to have an abortion when you going in having sex with someone could prevent a unwanted pregnancy before you even lay down with the person. How hard is it to go get a bag of pack of condoms? Do they lock them? Do they lock them behind a gate? It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, YouTube.
I just feel this way, man. I'm gonna say this: if a person believes that a zebra been believing all their life that a zebra got green stripes, there's nothing you can do to convince them that it don't.
Or that a zebra is white with black stripes, or is it black with white stripes?
They believe that the stripes are green. You can't change their mind.
Who are you? Who are we to change their mind?
In religion,
but it's still a zebra.
So at the end of the day, you see it in religion, and it's hard to convince a Catholic or a Jehovah's Witness or non-denomination or a Baptist.
Christian,
Can we get together and agree, on one thing, and it's hard to do that. So it's like these people coming together. They got pronouns, and it's nothing. It's like you can, and I said, every time you talk to them, only thing they give you back is junk food. So that's what I'm talking about, and it does get aggravating because you see the man pouring out his heart, trying to explain to them that, look, man, you're not going to make me lie to you.
No,
because I'm going to be truthful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What about my integrity?
So live in your delusion.
Yeah.
I got to
have some kind of integrity, and I got to be truthful with you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie to you. So if you want me to lie to you, the best thing for you to do is just don't talk to me. Don't bring the junk food to me.
Don't bring it to me.
You're not going to convince me that cotton candy is a steak and potatoes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, cotton candy going to be cotton candy. Steak and potatoes going to be steak and potatoes.
Steak and potatoes.
It kind of aggravates me a little bit because it's like the same old, and people talking to them and it's nothing changing. You know what I'm saying? And I realize that you can't make a person believe that a zebra got black stripes if they believe that the zebra got green stripes.
Right.
So it is what it is.
All right, YouTube. That's our 2 cents. Don't forget to. I messed up my thought earlier, but I hope y'all understood what we were talking about. About the percentages, but never mind.
I got choked up earlier after we was talking on the
I
was because I was aggravated.
I got choked up too because
aggravated,
it does
and I was
get you
like,
that way.
What the world?
Like, what is it gonna take?
Pouring out his heart.
Yeah.
And I can't even get my words out because I'm
I
trying
got
to figure out
brain
everything that he said. You can't hear it.
You can't hear it. Yeah. So I got brain.
You can't hear it. You don't understand it. What's the problem?
So excuse us,
Even
YouTube.
to a point where you got.
I got a little brain.
She was 26.
She said 22.
22, whatever. She said 22. Can you identify yourself as being
60?
60. No. It's
the argument is getting a little out of control. So excuse us, YouTube. I've lost my train of thought when I was breaking down. I had it in my head so beautifully mapped out, and then when it came out my mouth, I was just flabbergasted already.
Speechless, man. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Every time I hear this stuff, I'm speechless, man. I'm like, and it is what it is. I mean, our first time seeing it, so that's
our first time watching that one. So that was a new one.
That's a blind reaction right there. I was speechless, tongue tied, and everything else. All right, but other than that,
all right, YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all later. Peace.